Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Melina and today we're going to do a 10-minute makeup routine. So let's get into it. So I'm going to set a 10-minute timer on my phone just to make sure I don't go over, and if I do go over it's going to be by a few seconds. So let's start. So immediately the first thing that I decide to do when I start doing my makeup is some moisturizer. I always do it no matter how much makeup I'm going to put on because I just have such dry skin. Oh, I put that like right on my hair. So I just put it in all over. So when I'm doing a 10-minute makeup routine, I definitely prioritize certain things in my full routine. So I always moisturize. I want to make sure I cover some of the redness that makes me a little self-conscious, and then I just do some eye stuff, and then that's pretty much it. So I already moisturized. The next step in right away is that I use my tinted SPF. This is the Elta MD 46 SPF. I typically use this as my foundation when I'm just like, my foundation quote unquote, when I am doing a quick makeup routine. It is tinted, so it does do a good job of covering like some of my spots, and you'll see that it gives me not coverage, but it does cover some of the immediate imperfections immediately, and it gives the skin a nice sheen. I like this SPF because it is a predominantly mineral SPF. It doesn't irritate my skin. I bring it down to my neck. I try to put a lot because, you know, they always say that if you don't put enough then the SPF isn't working properly. So I put it everywhere it needs to go. As you can see already, my skin looks a lot better than it did when I originally started, just because I think this tinted SPF does a really good job of covering everything that needs to be covered. Oops. I always have issues around my nose ring, like making sure that it's covered correctly and blended. Now I'm looking extra dewy because I had the moisturizer and the SPF. So yeah, my skin looks pretty good. I have some extra SPF, so I just bring it all the way down my neck. Now normally I'm obviously not rushing, but I just wanted to show you that you guys can do it in about 10 minutes. I definitely don't take that long when I'm trying to do like a routine like this. So now that my SPF is on, I move on straight to concealer, and I just conceal a few little spots that I have on my face that I don't really like. I do under my eyes and a little bit around here. I'm using the Nars Soft Matte Concealer in the shade Creme Brulee, which is a light 2.5. I like the shade because it's pretty light. I think in the summer I would need to go a little bit darker, but most of the year this works well. I use a brush. This is a BH Cosmetics brush, and then I go right underneath my eye. It gives me some coverage because I did not take the SPF all the way up there. Okay, see, look how this eye looks versus this one. It just looks a lot more awake. If you see any paint in my hair, I'm so sorry. I was helping my mom paint something in her house, and I am such a messy painter. While I did not get paint on any of the floors or anything, I did get paint on myself, on my hands, even though I tried to wash most of it off. The one in the hair was a little more stubborn to remove, and I probably still have some if you look really closely. So I did underneath my eyes. I think I'm going to put some right in this area because I do have some redness, and I'm going to put a little bit right here and like use the leftover underneath my nose, on my nose. So see, I just use the leftover bits and I put it on my nose. Okay, so see, it looks pretty good considering I don't really have that much makeup on. It's just literally some concealer and some SPF and moisturizer. And then I just put a little bit right here as well. I didn't do this side yet, but I might not have to because it doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna put a little bit. See, it looks pretty good. Okay, next step. So I already concealed. Now I move straight into my eyes. Lies. I'm going to actually go in with some blush. If I have extra time, I put a little bit of bronzer. I'm using the Hoola bronzer as of now, and I put it a little bit under my chin, just a quick. But this is like if I have extra time. If not, I skip bronzer. Maybe put a little bit too much on my forehead. But you know, when you're rushing, you tend to make a little bit more mistakes. Like I said, normally I skip this step, but today technically I do have time, so I will do it. I will follow in with blush. I use the NudeStix blush in the shade Sunkissed. I grab my brush. I use the Pac-Man Wet n Wild brush, and I just swish it in my brush until I have enough product all over the top. You could tell, like, when the bristles turn from yellow to a little, like, the pinkish red shade. And I literally go on top of my nose. Ooh, I put too much. And along my cheeks. That's what I get for not looking while I was putting the blush on, because now I definitely have a little bit too much on my nose, but that's fine. Okay, now after I finish with the blush, I go straight in with my Colourpop Supershock highlighter in the shade Wisp. I grab it with my finger. I don't use a brush for this. I go boop, and I put it along my cheeks right here, on the other cheek, and along my nose. So see, now that I'm done with this, is my face makeup usually when I'm doing like a quick 10-minute like in and out, let me finish quickly. Then I go in with eyeshadow, and I'm gonna use today the Dominique Cosmetics palette, the Latte. I use the shade Caramel, and I use that all over my lid typically. I also go with Caramel underneath my lower lash line. That's what it's called. It's so much harder. I have to use the okay, underneath. And then I use a little bit of pumpkin spice on my on my crease. Now, depending on how I feel, I'll add a shimmer or I won't. Today I probably will, because, you know, why not? But sometimes I just don't, and I leave it right here as is with very neutral shades. Today I'm going to use the shade Creme Brulee, which is this one right here. And I just use it with my finger all over, very light brushing all over the rest of my lid. Okay, so see, that's my eye look. Very, very simple as well. I will go in and do my brows. I'm currently using the Colourpop Precision Brow Pencil in the shade Audacious Auburn, I think it's called. Oops, it broke. Yeah, Audacious Auburn. So I just go in and I run it through the fronts, the back, and the sides very lightly. I just like to create some shape on my brows because my brows aren't sisters. They're more like cousins in terms of how they look when you compare them to each other. And so when I fill them in, I just more like to give them a more similar shape. Okay, so once I kind of like the shape that I've created for my brows, I take my pencil and I run the spoolie through it just to, and I do the other side. I think the brows actually might be the part that takes me the longest, and a lot of the time I'm not happy because it's just so hard. My 10 minutes are up. I'm gonna take a few extra seconds. I promise it won't take that much longer though. It's because I did the bronzer. I take a little bit of gel because I do gotta keep them in place. If not, then they move all over the place. I use the Colourpop one. I'm not a big fan of it. I just am trying to finish up since I have it. I just feel like too much product comes off of the spoolie every time I use it. I do want to try out the NudeStix gel because they just got the gel by itself, not with the pencil attached to it, which I kind of like. And then I put on mascara. The rest of the steps are just so quick. A little bit of mascara. I don't typically use a lash curler, and that's only because my eyelashes are pretty naturally curled. I only curl them during special occasions, so it's just not often enough, really, to be honest. So now that I'm finished with that, I usually just blot any lip color on my lips. This is the Tom Ford Ultra Shine lip color in the shade Nubile, and I just like pop it on the top and the bottom. Ooh, I made such a mess today. And I'm done. That's exactly how I would do my makeup if I had a quick 10 minutes, with the exception of the bronzer. I probably would have skipped that because when I'm just trying to like look semi-presentable, the most important thing was covering some of my heavy eye bags and making my eyes pop a little bit. See, so this is the look, which I'm not mad at. I think it comes out really cute. It looks really natural. Like I said, I don't use foundation. It's just a little bit of concealer under the eyes right here and right here where I have random redness as well. But yeah, so this is how I do my makeup. If you guys want to see like my 15-minute tutorial, my 20-minute, I do have like, depending on how much time I have, I do different things to my face, if it makes any sense. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and maybe write a comment down below on what you want to see from me next. As always, I hope you guys have a great night and day. Sending you love, strength, and positivity, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye.